I want to thank you guys for taking the time to check out this video. Um, I'll be your host. How you doing? And this is what we got going on. So this is a nice little array here of BB and pellet guns. I want to tell you what I think about them. This one is the XBG BB gun. It's got like a foot per second rate of, I think, something like 460, if I'm not mistaken. Almost 500 feet per second. I would gather, just, without saying much, that at a close range, this thing is pretty brutal. At a further away range, it's still pretty good. They actually make a hop-up version of this with like a carbine version, because it has such a high foot per second number that they put they made it to a rifle barrel, and it's still pretty good, if not better. This is this one is made by Umarex. This one you can find online, but the name of this one is Barra009. I'm going to show you something pretty interesting about these guns. Now, mine must have been defective. I like the gun, but it must have been defective because it doesn't really shoot semi-auto. Everything on it is fully auto. The tape that I have there is just to cover up the white markings, okay? But it's a blowback, and like with the Glock version, it's a clip to go straight through, and almost kind of like a real thing. I'll show it to you later. This is a Crossman model 2240. It's a bolt action 22. This thing is extremely brutal. This, I think, is probably this is probably a problem. That's the only thing I can say, man. This thing is serious. You're gonna use it to kill rodents, it's more than capable of doing the job. It's more than capable of doing the job. And it's not very expensive. It's not very expensive, but it's a 22 model. This is a 22 model. This is the Webley Nemesis. Let me take this off. It goes to cover up the handle, but this is the Webley Nemesis. It's a pretty bulky gun. It's a 22. Okay. It takes a cartridge. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 12 22 rounds. You could run them through this. It is a bolt action. So if you want to make it work to the best of its ability, the best thing to do would be get your speed up. Get your speed up using a bolt. I'm just trying to replace the cylinder. Okay, there we go. Could just speed up on your bolt, and it would be a little punisher. You know, as far as small game, depending on what you run through it, I think it may do its job. Always use a fresh cartridge with that because it takes a lot to push the 22 slug out of there. The lighter that you can get them, I guess, the better if you're just looking to plink or you're looking to just knock down some small rodent. What I will tell you about the 222s that I am showing you today, one thing I can tell you about these is they both fire better with the flat top pellets. It doesn't matter if they're cheap or expensive. They tend to run better with the flat top pellets. This is a Glock 17 Gen 4. This is blowback. There's some wear on this one, and that is because I use it to practice a lot. Great for practice. Here's your, this doesn't have any CO2 in it. Let me see. Oh, no, this is the wrong one. Here's the other one. This one doesn't have any CO2 in it or any BBs. But look at, here's the clip. Now, the Glock 17 Gen 4 clip and the Barra 009 clip, they both work very well inside the same guns. So here's the Barra 009. This one is for, it's supposed to be for semi. This one doesn't understand semi. It's gonna go automatic too, and that's fully automatic. Okay, but in this mode with this model, you already know what to expect. It's not gonna go, semi-automatic. So up here, you might be able to run a couple rounds through regular automatic, but this two-stage trigger is just like on the Glock. It is very sensitive. It is very sensitive. Great gun for dry fire. All you gotta do is oil it. Make sure you don't over oil, and make sure you don't what they call diesel the barrel, and it'll function just fine for you. But this one takes a clip that is, let me get the focus here a little bit, that is for the Glock. It takes it, and it works just as well as the original that came with it. Yeah. Okay. We got the Glock Model 19. It's a subcompact version of the real deal. It has the Glock, and the Glocks, they have the very real feel. It's very difficult to be able to tell the difference between the real one and the fake one. And also it has, like I said, the same weight and feel. All the Glock emblems are on it. A little closer for you. The Glock emblem is on there, as well as a little stupid serial number. I did have this stuff blacked out. The other side, unlike the paintball, or excuse me, the what do they call them? Airsoft version. Okay, this one already has the markings on the slide just like the real deal. The airsoft ones, they look all stupid with white writing, big white writing, and it looks fake. you would have to take it off and just repaint it to make it look like anything. Here's your safety. The Glock has, both Glocks that you've seen so far, they both have safety, and they both are initiated by, and you need to have either good fingernails or maybe a knife to be able to get in there. That's, you know, if you're okay with having a gun that doesn't really, you're not too much gonna keep it on, you know, safe, then this is a great one to have. But otherwise, if you need a safety, then the only thing that you could really rely on outside of, you know, just keeping your finger off the trigger, is, I just want to make sure that this particular safety is off. Okay, that's the only thing I care about. Because it's too hard to put the safety on. It is. These things, and if they're, you know, if they get moist or damp or anything, they'll just start to kind of rust up a little bit. You know, it's just, to me, a waste of time. And a lot of people will tell you that you cannot strip this Glock 19 down. That's false. All you have to do is go right here underneath where the barrel is and unscrew it. That's all you gotta do. And watch everything just fall apart. So, but I fixed mines. I'll show you guys. I fixed mine so that I can field strip it. Okay, that's what it looks like on the inside. You guys probably have never seen what the inside of a Glock 19 BB gun looks like, because nobody's ever opened it up. So I just showed you how you open it up, how you can field strip it if you want to oil it down, which this one is not really, I don't really use it too much to practice with. So, but I definitely do need to oil it down. As a matter of fact, just while I'm here, won't take up too much time. Let me just oil this up really quick, because if you don't use it, you lose it. That's the way it is. You don't use it, you lose it. I don't really practice with this one, so I'm gonna just give it a couple light squirts up here. I don't know exactly what this part is. I've never lubricated this before. I basically just got it, played with it a little bit, and that was it. I never did anything else with it. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much you can do with it. It's not like it's made or meant to actually break down. It's not. It's meant to stay closed up. But I'll tell you the drawback to making it feel strippable like this one is, if it falls, it will break apart. Because, you know, as you saw, I just took it apart. I'm gonna put a little glue here, or a little bit of, sorry guys, I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on the spring where it's already coiled. This is a Crossman pellet gun oil. I would recommend using it if you can. Geez, you know something? Oh my goodness. Nope. Okay. Jeez. I can't see this at all. It is just basically a white. Okay, there you go. That's what it is. I would recommend using it as much as you can, not to, overly, just, just where it's actually needed. I would not, don't ever go oil crazy on a pellet gun. It could cause a fiery explosion in your hand, or it could just destroy your gun. So they call that dieseling. I mean, depending on what you're doing with your pellet gun and how durable and sturdy it is, I wouldn't do that if you don't have the money to replace it, or it's not a gun that you want to really continue to keep any longer. So you just kind of do what you want to do to it. At that point, I could understand. Okay. I keep this band on here. It actually is a red dot scope band, but I keep that on there because this has a tendency of falling off. There's your ratchet to unscrew that. It flips up like this. No problem, works every time like a charm. But these backs don't really stay on there. So, use your better judgment. I don't know if you want it or if you don't want it. I know it's pretty decent. It really is. It really is something to, it's definitely worthy of playing with. Okay. It's another thing. You have these guns with blowbacks. Don't leave them open like that. You have the high likelihood you're going to get lots of dust in there. Your kids start to, corrode in there. It's just not worth it. Keep it closed up. Keep the air out. Keep it oiled. And this is the Corbray. It's a 30 round. Those white markings have just been covered up. Can't even really see them, but they're just covered up. They had a bunch of stupid white writing on it. Okay, this one has an extendable and collapsible. Okay, this one has the extend. Oh geez, gotta do this before. Okay, has an extending and collapsible stock. Okay. You push this button under here. You can close it back up. This one, you pinch on the arms, fold it up. I put a couple stickers and a piece of tape on it. They are all like this. They have a problem with getting in there and staying in there. So you gotta kind of make it so it's nice and tight in there. It takes 30 rounds. Here's your safety. That's fire. That's safe. I think it's an inconvenience. It's too close to your finger. So if you're carrying it somewhere and you have big hands, in the event that your finger moves that thing forward, it will no longer be safe, and this safe is very loose. And out the box, this is the way it is. Okay? Good grip if you got a big hand. It's a small gun in a big hand, but in a small hand, it's a big gun. And it's just a snapper. Click, 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 click. It's the CO2 is inside here. So, you know, if you just want to knock some cans down, or you just want to put a bunch of BBs somewhere, this is probably a good thing to do with it. As far as, you know, going out and killing a squirrel, and, you know, you probably could do that, but I just, you know, what I know, I wouldn't. I would use it more. I mean, you use it for what you want to, but now, of all of these, like I said, this one, of all of them, it has the higher feet per second. This is the XBG made by Umarex. This one, again, is the Barra009. It's fully blowback. Fully blowback. It has an automatic, a semi-automatic, and an automatic switch. Takes a clip. This clip is identical to the clip in the Glock 17 Gen 4. Okay. Oh, with this, to field strip it, you have to take the clip out. It will not let you field strip it with the clip in. You can pull it off. There you have it. This one is nice and oiled. There's your internals, your barrel. You would take it off. You know, I don't want to get into actually field stripping it all the way down to the core, but I might do that when I put this up against another gun. This one has the iron sights just like the Glock. Okay. The sights that you have on the XBG by Umarex, yeah, it's kind of like that, just without the steel in the back to capture the picture a little bit nicer and neater. But like I said, that one is a great one. It's got lots of power. This is the Crossman 2240. Here's your safety. This is an ambidextrous grip. Ambidextrous grip, both sides. Okay. So when you hold it, it feels like, you know, you have your significant other by the throat. Not literally, I'm just saying. Because look at the way it's textured. It just feels like you're choking somebody. You know, let's say you're just choking a stranger. Okay? Alright. This is a 22. This is not a toy. When I tell you, boys and girls, that this is not a toy, this one is... Here, let me tell you what it says on here. It says, not a toy. Misuse may cause fatal injury. Before using, read owner's manual. Available free from Crossman Corp, Bloomfield, New York, USA 14469. It takes a 22 caliber pellet or 5.5 millimeters. Yeah, this, somebody, if they made a little clip for this, I would be deathly afraid of that. This again is your Nemesis bolt action 22. It's got the red, I forgot what they call them. They're kind of like fluorescent, fluorescent. Let me see here. Okay. They have like this red fluorescent type thing. I forgot what they call those rails. They are glued in. This one could probably, it doesn't move around, but it does. So I'm probably gonna clip some glue on there soon. I'm sorry. I'll probably clip some glue on there soon because it's just, you know, it can move around. So we're just gonna save the day before we have a problem. I never even, these ones are pretty firm. But your barrel here, you can attach a suppressor to it, okay? And voila. It is threaded, okay? This cap here just protects the threads. It does not affect the pellet coming out in any way, shape, or form. This is where your CO2 cartridge will go. They supply you with this and also a single side tray. This is how you would tighten it up. You would have to, just like this one, in order to get them to fire, once you put a CO2 cartridge in them, you have to first pull the trigger. If you do not pull that trigger at least one time, it will not crack the seal on it. Okay? So you load them in, you crack the seal by pulling the trigger, and when you pull the trigger, you will puncture the CO2, and when you puncture the CO2, you're ready to go. You are ready to fly. You have, this was your Glock 17 Gen 4, exact markings everywhere. This does come with 2 additional back straps depending on how big your hand is. It fits my hand, and I have a pretty good size hand. Fits my hand really well without the back straps. So there's no reason for me to put them on there, so I don't have them, and I don't have them present now. Here's your steel sights. Okay. What I did to this one, and I'll show you real quick, to make it a little bit stronger, and it worked, okay? Where this, let me see, where this piece would come off, where the barrel is, I took a little thin sized pad, cut it in half, and slid it right in between there. Let me see, right in here. And what it did is it poked this out, okay? Now, the reason why I did that was because this is naturally poking out. And this one, I feel sorry for whatever's on the other end of it, even if it is just a piece of paper. It is a little bit stronger than the Glock. But when I put that little piece right in between there, I hot glued it in there, I super glued it in there, and then continued to oil, right? And I replaced this. It's like a tensioner. It poked out that much. With a new CO2 cartridge, I would be deathly afraid of somebody shooting me with this. Because this, when I did that to it, made this a crazy deal. Now, I'm not gonna tell you guys too much about this, but I'm gonna show you something. This slide, the fully automatic switch, fits right on the frame of our Glock. Let me see here. Right on the frame of our Glock. I'm not gonna say anything about how it works, but I will tell you this. Here's our Glock. Let me see, yeah. Wrong side. Here's our Glock on top of our Barra frame. And trust me, they work. Trust me, they do. And finally, so I don't want to leave them on top of mix match, no. Okay. This again would just be good pretty much for pelting. You know, tearing up some soda cans, you know. Maybe even target practice, you know. I haven't gone on the inside. I haven't even looked to see how it functions and what else can be done to it. This is a non-blowback. I think it's 410 feet per second. It is a serious pelter, serious, and it's extremely accurate. It's extremely accurate, especially when aiming. Especially when aiming. So, do you guys want to see me put one of these guns up against another gun in a target test or something? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, share if you can, and remember, whenever you're dealing with these, treat these things like they are real guns, because believe me, here, I'll read this one. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. Let's see what it says. Warning, not a toy. Misuse or careless use may cause serious injury or death. Okay? Make sure you treat this just like it was a real gun. There is no clip here, right? Okay. Off of one of my old BB guns that I no longer have, or maybe I gave it away. A lot of times when I give away BB guns is because the seal is broke on it. It's no good, you know, whatever. I never give them the clip. And I want to make sure that whatever they have, whatever I give them that they can have, that it's not something that they could just, you know, start using, you know. So, but because of a old, and I hate when this happens, because every time you eject, you gotta put a BB back in there. I hate that. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. I really hate that. But here's one. Here's one. Here's the other one. So I don't use it. You know, I haven't really practiced with it because I don't really have it for that purpose. So I have 2 clips for it. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. It's pretty nice, let me tell you. And of course, whichever of the Barra or the Glock I want to practice with, they too, I have an extra clip for them. So I'm not gonna say which is my favorite of all. I don't think that's really relevant. What I will tell you is this: when looking for BB guns to play with, make sure you pay attention to how many feet per second the BBs will travel, because if you want something for the purpose of accuracy, or something, then just make sure that, you know, you pick up the one that's got the most, you know, power to it. You can kind of tweak it or adjust it after that. Sometimes if you get too much power, no matter what you do to it, it's just going to be a waste of time. It's not going to let you do anything other to it. It's just going to be always inaccurate all the time. But for the price of that Umarex model, it is pretty impressive. It is. So I've showed you what I had to show you. Like I said, if you want to see one of these go up against one of the other ones, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make it happen for you. Until then, you guys take it easy. See you later.